Hello, guys. Good evening. Really quick discussion because I am tired. I've been pretty much working nonstop today, and I'm gonna just make this real quick. Okay. I hope everybody's doing well. Um, so I want to come and speak to y'all, and this is pretty serious. I've noticed that sometimes during readings, and this is not for any of my current clients that are getting work from me. This is strictly and specifically for some of you guys that come to me to get readings, and um, I tell you certain things that I can see in spirit. And for those of you that like don't take it seriously, okay. Um, so when I tell you that someone is doing work on you, and a lot of the times I can either see specifically who it is, or I have to like use my pendulum. And what my pendulum will do is it will give me initials. It'll sometimes my pendulum will spell out a person's name. Okay. But when I tell you that somebody is doing work on you, please believe me when I tell you that. Okay. Seriously, because some of you guys don't take it seriously. And then, especially when I tell you when it's a person that you want so badly to trust. Okay. I understand how that is, especially when it comes to, like, for example, somebody that you've been close to, or somebody that you think that you can really count on or trust. I know it's very difficult when you are being told, hey, this person is not right, and that a lot of the turbulence that you've been experiencing in your life is because of this person, and it's because they're cursing you. Um, so, because a lot of people will, well, see what I can see. Also, another thing, this is a huge one. Um, this is a huge one, is that I can tell when someone is going to someone else to get the work done too. And sometimes it can be some really dark stuff. Okay. And so a lot of times I'll see the person that's crossing you, but I won't see any magic coming from their end. But I'll see a lot of this negativity coming through this person. And so we can only assume that this person is either meditating, and maybe this person could be entering into your astral space. There's so many different things, but a lot of times what I will double check, and sometimes it'll be quite obvious because you'll see, like, for example, it'll be like Queen of Pentacles inverted, or like maybe the Queen of Cups inverted, or the Page of Cups, or Queen of Swords inverted. And so that will let me know that you got three people. And typically what that says to me in the cards is that this is, my spirits will literally spell it out. That, like, I read my cards like a book. Okay. So literally my cards will say, if I get like 3 or 4 court cards, my cards will say, this is the person. They went to this person to get work on you, to get work done on you. And you can tell even when somebody is either cursing you or somebody might be doing love work on you, which, I don't too much, like a lot of you guys don't too much mind love work. Um, only, well, and we'll talk about that in a minute because it depends on who's doing the love work, honestly. And, so, it's just like, oh, this person went and got love work done on me. But I mean, it depends. Like, I saw some stuff in the cards, and it was like to where, so here's what can happen, okay? Sometimes people will go to spiritualists and you'll send them the picture of your loved one, and the spiritualist will be dirty. The spiritualist will be just not an honest person. Okay, it's not that they're not powerful, they're just not a good person. They just don't care and they have no ethics. And so, what this spiritualist will do, especially if they are associated with a coven or either they have witches in their family or whatever crap, like what they'll do is basically like sell your energy to like a coven. Almost like, let's say if you went to um like AT&T's website, or you went to like some other website that said, do you, and they may tell you, do you mind if we like sell your information or something to a third party to offer you promotions? It's kind of like that. And I do have a disclaimer on my website that says that your information is never sold or told. You go and look at the About tab, you'll see my privacy policy. Okay, so if you do that, if you go to somebody to even get a reading, the privacy is going to be assumed. You're going to assume that that person is not going to go and discuss your situation with anyone else. This is the reason why it is very important for witches to identify themselves as to whether or not they are a solitary witch or if they are with a coven. And it's nothing wrong with being with a coven. I love covens as long as it's not, you know, one of those covens that are just like dirty as hell. Um, and so when I tell you that somebody is doing work on you, please believe me. Like you think I'm telling you just to be telling you that? Like I'm not. And in most cases, a lot of you guys, probably at least 80% of you that contact me to get readings, a lot of you guys are going through some things in your life. So it is very, very common to, see in at least half of those cases that somebody could be doing some baneful workings against you. Okay, now sometimes it's just fate, like, life's little changes or pathways that are open. Okay, so if I do a reading for you and let's say I get cards like, I'm gonna name out 4 cards. Let's say I get either the Wheel of Fortune or the Death card, the Lovers, the Two of Swords, and the Nine of Swords. And let me add another card, the World card. That could possibly mean that you are about to uproot and change your location. And that may be fate for that to happen. Fate is fate. It just is what it is. It doesn't, so sometimes you may be going through things just because it's time for you to move. So if I pull those cards, I'm not going to say, oh, somebody's doing death magic on you. I mean, if I were to pull those cards and that's what I saw, but because sometimes the cards can lay out a certain way and they can be saying something totally different. You know what I'm saying? But like more than likely, if I see something like that, which I always throw at least 10 cards on people. If I see something like that and it's not followed up by the devil and the magician and five of pentacles and stuff like that, then I can tell you, oh, well, it seems like you're going through, some transition. You're at a crossroads. You're making some decision. You know what I'm saying? But like, if it's somebody doing work on you, like my cards are gonna tell me, and a lot of times my intuition will tell me because I can feel that energy on you. That is a part of my spiritual gifts for me to feel even before I see. I feel. Okay, because I'm an empath and I'm a Cancer sun. So, like, for example, like sometimes y'all may have like either a spirit or an energy around you. And you may, whenever we get on the phone, like instantly I'll be like, oh goodness. And you'll be like, what? And it's like, what, like what? I can sense something, right? And y'all will be like, yeah, that's why I'm concerned. And, but sometimes spirits will be a little bit more, they'll be very, very quiet and they don't just pop up at the minute. Some of these spirits are very eager and they'll just leap at me. And it's like, whoa, 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 what is that? Whoa, Kimasabi. Okay. And you know what I'm saying? So a lot of the times I don't even need the cards to tell you that something's on you. And depending on the symptoms that you're having or the situation that you're having, um, you know, is based upon the experiences that you're having. Okay. This is how a lot of times empaths, because I'm definitely a natural psychic. Okay. And so, but I like the cards. I do because they basically, I don't know, I just like the cards. I guess I'm just a tarot card person. I like throwing my cards. I like my pendulum. Um, sometimes I will do Ouija board readings. Okay. And yeah, you can do readings with the Ouija board. I do readings with the dice. Sometimes I can throw the dice and I can see a lot in the dice for y'all. So there's many different ways of divination, but mainly, if I feel like a spirit gnawing, if it's gnawing at me the moment that I get on the phone with you, and then you're like, oh, I've been going through this, I've been going through that, and then I can tell that somebody done crossed you, somebody done put something on you. Um, I don't exactly kind of understand. Well, I do understand why some of you don't like to accept it. And a lot of the times, if you are less accepting, then that can mean possession because you're sitting here telling me what is happening to you. And you literally came to a psychic. Hey, Shamika, good evening. You literally came to a psychic witch. So, eh, and so people would, I guess they'll get scared, like, but I mean, Just please listen to me when I tell you guys things, okay? Please, because I know what I'm talking about. Um, because some of you guys will already be suspecting that something is going on, and you just need me to confirm it. But some of you guys will literally be blindsided. You'll be like, "What?" Like, yeah. Um, your bestie, she's a complete piece of crap. Okay. Like seriously. So I don't understand. Like, I guess sometimes people just don't want to touch it. But okay, just to let you guys know, hexes and curses, they don't get better. They tend to get worse. And it depends on what kind of curse it is. Okay, it depends on what kind of curse it is. So if I tell you, please listen, like, um, what can I say? I've been doing this for years. And I'm not afraid to tell people that, like, straight up and down, like, you need to, like, do something, cleanse, reverse, and it just is what it is. Yeah. Yeah. So, curses, hexes, and jinxes. Let's talk about death magic for a minute. When it comes to like death magic and stuff like that, which is usually what people fear, a lot of the times a person is never powerful enough to just make you drop dead. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're just not that powerful, okay? But, it's a slow progression, is pretty much what it is, but it's an accelerated thing. Like, um, and so you just have to pay attention to that, okay? Right, all curses are definitely not the same, and that's the whole point. Like, most witches that put something on you, it's not going to, it's because some of them will make sure that they put the intent in the work. If they really hate you, if they really have something against you for some reason, they will put their intent in the work so that you don't know about it. Some of them will even go further and put in there that you'll never find out about the curse, and that if you do, nobody will help you. Okay? So just keep that in mind. Well, that's good, Shamika. That's good. I respect your confidence. Yeah, I feel the same way. You develop an immunity to it, seriously. Um, but nobody wants to constantly have problems. Nobody wants to constantly have chaos and confusion in their life, you know? And so you got to be careful out there, and you have to pay attention to your cards, to the cards that are coming up in your reading. Okay, like, because like I said, this is one of the reasons why I do all my work myself. Like, because I think sometimes if you go to certain people, like, it can bring you bad energy and bad juju, because they may not have the proper judgment or the proper ethics. Okay, they may just be all over the place with it. And so, like, but there are some people that, they'll go to, covens and stuff like that, and they'll just have work done on you. And you have to know that a lot of times sometimes when you're, oh God, it's awful. Let me tell y'all something. I can see people's rituals, like, seriously, and sometimes if it's a coven, they will just play pity pat with you. You know, one day, on Monday, this person does this to you. On Tuesday, this person does this to you. On Wednesday, this other person does something to you. And they just kind of take turns and they just kind of pass your spiritual ass around. Yeah. They will just pass you around. Okay. You be just like a leaf blowing in the wind. Okay. I've seen it happen. And, it is what it is. Everybody is not a nice white witch like Jamila, like I don't mean white like my race, but I mean, I am considered to be a light worker more so than, even though I do reversals, I do hexes and curses if they are needed. Um, but I don't like I yeah, like yeah, anyway. But I do healings, I do cleanses, you know what I'm saying? Is my main thing. Love work, money work. Um, but some of these people, man, they be at the graveyard, they be summoning all kind of stuff, like real bad stuff on people. And think about it. If a person doesn't know you or have any connection with you and you're just like an assembly line, like, oh, this is so and so. My client came to me, paid me a couple of $1,000, and then your picture, your photograph, your information just gets passed around all these people. Okay, and they real cold with it. They just be like, oh, okay, what am I cursing this person? Yeah, curse the fuck out this person. They don't even ask what you did. Like, what they do? They ain't about to ask. They don't give a damn about what you did or didn't do. Yeah. They don't care about what you did. You didn't do nothing. Oh, okay. Okay. Because they don't care about that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't nicey nicey. Like, for real. Um, but the good news is that you can protect yourself. Like, you ain't got to be like, oh my God, my life is over. What am I going to do? You ain't got to feel like that. But I was still focus on, like, I think that, like, after years and years, a lot of you guys will discover spirituality and you'll discover like what's really out here in this world. And so just get the stuff removed from you and protect yourself. That's pretty much it's kind of like, and it don't even really take a whole lot of discussion. In fact, the less you talk about your problems, the better sometimes. Okay. It depends on what the issue is. Because you don't want to feed that energy and give it power. Okay. So I also do spiritual counseling to family members as well as couples. I had this couple that they were under spiritual attack and they was just going at each other's throats, like fighting like cats and dogs. And yeah, somebody used hair from a cat and hair from a dog. But sometimes that can backfire because cats and dogs do actually get together. They get along sometimes. But they were still together, and they had been under black magic attack for quite some time. It had to get reversed. It was kind of expensive to get it reversed. But then after that, the aftermath of that, because some people still remember, I try my damnedest when I remove that stuff from y'all. I try my damnedest to try to put those memories so far out of your mind, because people will still think about it and they'll still remember some of the shit that happened. And so when I'm doing spiritual counseling with them, I have to remind them, hey, listen, you had Beelzebub spirit on you at the time, okay? And you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a trip. Way I be, hey Heather, I'm doing good. It's a trip. So I've done that before. I've counseled couples before. They'll be like, I'm having a hard time dealing with this. We had an argument, and she threw a drink in my face and called me a little dick bastard. And I'm like, well, she was under possession at the time. You seriously, like, it's very real. And you just have to remind people, and they're like, yeah, you're right. And so I'll suggest that they get some healing work, maybe some love work to reconnect the two of them. Hey, Sienna. Or either, some work to bring peace in the situation, because it can be really difficult. It really can. It can be very, very difficult to reconnect with either like your lover or your family member after you have dealt with that kind of spiritual warfare, because it causes all kind of stuff. And I've actually had people ask me, like, they've asked me, I feel bad, and I'll say why. During that time when I was so angry, I thought about killing him or her. Thought about killing them. Like, yeah, that was a bad spirit. So it just, like, and it's very, very confidential. Like, like, you don't have to be afraid to tell me, right? Because those spirits will do that. They will make you hate, they'll make you hate, they'll make you hate other people that you probably otherwise wouldn't hate. Okay. Yeah. Hmm. Thank you for the roses. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Just, I don't know, kind of um, take that into consideration as well. And then after you come out of spiritual warfare, you don't want to become a warmonger the rest of your life, because then you're shell shocked. Because then you're shell shocked. And it's almost like you were at war. You were at war. And then now, for years and years and years to come, you're just like, I trust no one. And I'm just looking around, looking over my shoulder. And you just, make sure you don't do that either. Okay. Make sure you don't do that either. So that's a common sign that I look for in my clients, you know, just so that they can get the quality of life back in their life, because curses and hexes and jinxes will ruin the quality of your life, but especially a curse. Most common curses are um, poppet curses. I've been in witches' houses before to where they had a particularly difficult enemy, and they buy one of those skull thingies and they just consecrate it and attach that person's picture to it, and they just light black candles over it every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, oh, let me get up and curse this person. Oh, I hate that bitch. Let me curse her. You know what I'm saying? So, and if you're not doing anything about it, that stuff will hit you. And some of y'all be waking up in the morning pissed off. Y'all be like, ugh, I did not sleep last night. And, you know, I dreamed about maggots and flies and sewer systems and, fire and brimstone and, yeah. So, anyway, I promised that this would be a quick discussion. So I will let you guys go. I hope that you guys have a wonderful evening, and I hope that this information helped you. I actually specialize in removing curses, so just to let y'all know. Okay, so I'm not afraid to remove a curse from you, even a death curse. I remove death curses from people. So that's not that big of a deal to me. Okay, removing I mean, death, destruction. What's the difference? It's all the same. I've seen many, many doom candles and puppets buried in the cemetery and stuff like that. So it's just I'm just not afraid of it. Okay. So I'm always here. If you need me, you guys can reach out. All right, all right. Thank you. Thank you for the cyber libations. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good evening. Okay. Blessings.